Welcome back to another great learning opportunity. Today we're going to look at the level of detail. Particularly, there's a couple level of details that we think about within Tableau. There's the fixed level of detail, the exclude, and the include level of detail. This is really important for people who are probably native to Excel and are really good Excel people. Like I find myself always trying to do these relative cross-tabulation calculations and things like that. You know, for those of you who are S-based people, you know exactly what I'm talking about, cross-dimensional calculations and things like that. So to keep it simple, sometimes we just need to put the total at the same level as the detail value so we can see how the total relevance computes against something else. So here in this one, we're going to talk about the data set. We're going to select a dimension. We're going to create this level of detail calc, and we're going to display the results. Let's shoot over to Tableau. Now in Tableau, I've already kind of created one here, the LOD Fixed and the emission total. But let's go ahead and go through this. I'm using the EPA dataset, and I'll put the link to the EPA dataset inside of the comment section so you can see it. So the key here was to have the Tier 1 description. This is, like I said, the EPA. I could have put the Tier 1 code, but nobody knows what those codes mean, so I just put the Tier 1 description. Then I grabbed the EPA dataset for 2019, and I bring the data in. Now, this is, you know, we all know Tableau works really well. It sums out of the box, and we just summed up all the EPA data. But what happens when I want to do a little bit more? Maybe I want to look at pollution codes that make up chemical and allied production or anything else, the actual pollutant codes. I can drop this into the row dimension as well, and I have it stacked now, and I can see chemical. But you notice I lost the totals, right? Those totals were there. Let me bring this back over. Voila, total for 402, 2728. When I bring the total in, I get to a new level of detail. I drop it a lower level of detail. But the key is to actually see one level of detail. And the way we do this is by creating a level of detail calculation. So you get the drop down arrow up here, create calculated field, LOD-fixed, and you start off with two expressions. The first is a fixed expression, and the second is what you want to do with it. So I already have it saved, but this is the calculation, right? But the way this is, so first write with the squiggly lines there, squiggly brackets, fixed, the first where you want to anchor it, then colon, and then what you want to do, average, sum, min, max, div, whatever you want to do. But let's go ahead and create one here, just like this. Fixed. You see it drops it in just like the one I had. Then Tier 1 description. Then colon. You can go down to sum here on this side. I'm cheating, I'm using this expression builder. Double click it, and then drops to emissions 2019. Just want to show you how it lines up a little bit. I watched some of the other people out there, and then we can start off with that curly thing. And then this basically creates that calculation, you know, in that regard. So it sums twice, of course, it's going to error because I already have it in there. And you see it's valid, but basically it's the calculation. I just showed you the calculation I had and how I built that calculation. And you could build this fixed calculation. So you basically say, okay, and you drag it up here. Oh, no, isn't exactly, it's kind of finicky. Fixed. It pops in next to it, and I like to slide it over, just personal preference. You know, grab mission, drag it over. And now I got it the way I wanted to. So now you see, I have the 2728 that I had before, the 402. Now I can do all kinds of good things with it because I know what the range value is and everything else. And so I'm able to compute something, one thing against the other, but I have a level of details. Now I know it's 118 or 402. Okay, this is chemical analysis across emissions. I get it. And then I'm able to compute things by these description categories that I just computed the level of detail on. So I think that's quite a useful calculation. And it's able to sum things up really well, and you can do some really fancy things once you have it in here. But it starts with that. Of course, there's a fixed component, an include, and an exclude component. So it's very important. Sometimes when you're doing heavy core, hardcore crunching, you have to exclude certain things, but that's the way to do it. And the syntax is the same for all three. So once you get the syntax, you should be good to go with that. I hope this video was helpful. It was a short video, but it got right to the point on how to do a level of detail fixed calculation and bring that into your chart. Like I said, I'll post a link to the EPA dataset if you want to play with it and have any questions. This might help you with yours as well. Thank you and have a great day.